It's time for me to give you my 10 best tips on how to take beautiful flower photos with a macro lens out in the field. And tip number 1 may seem obvious: go to a botanical garden. But many times I found myself going out looking for flowers in all the wrong places, but one place that is never wrong is a botanical garden. There you will never have problems finding nice flowers. Then tip number 2 is to avoid messy flowers. What do I mean by that? Well, many flowers look beautiful when you look at them in real life with your eyes, but they are too messy to make for nice photos. You want to find simple flowers that aren't too spread out with too many components. You want to find flat flowers that you can align your focal field with, so you can get a nicely blurred out background and a simple nice subject. It makes such a big difference what kind of flowers you photograph, and I always love to find flowers like these that are flat, simple and not that messy. And we're gonna continue on the same theme here: avoid messy backgrounds as well. One of the most common beginner mistakes is to take photos like these and not understand why they aren't beautiful. Well, it's simple. It's too much mess in the background. First of all, try your very best to isolate your subject, the flower that you're trying to photograph, so that you have a clean background. And also try to use a shallow depth of field. Shoot wide open to get a better result and more isolation. Tip number 4. Rainy day equals yay. Too many people go out shooting flowers in sunshine, expecting beautiful photos but not getting beautiful photos. And the reason is simple. It's almost impossible to take beautiful flower photos in harsh, direct sunlight. The best conditions are actually these: an overcast day. The clouds act like a huge, beautiful, big softbox, giving you the nicest color rendition possible for your flower photos. Now let's talk briefly about lens and settings. I prefer to use a macro lens, preferably a long macro lens. The M2 90mm from OM System is the perfect lens for this, because it has a big maximum magnification, a long reach and a wide max aperture. When it comes to settings, use manual mode, use f2.8 in aperture, use ISO 200 to 400 and use a shutter speed of 1/200th of a second. I find that is a good balance to get sharp and nice flower photos. Tip number 6. Find the right background. Not only should the background be non-messy, we should find the best background possible by moving around. Here we have some other plants in the background, not ideal. Then I just turn around a little bit, find this background, and it's much cleaner and the photos are much nicer, and the only difference is that the background is so much further away that it gets so blurred out that you can't really make it out. So try to have the background far away. Tip number 7. Negative space and framing. An important aspect of getting a beautiful photo is choosing the right crop. I'm pretty happy with this crop. Let's compare it with this one. It doesn't feel good, right? It feels cramped. There are no margins. This one is better, but still the frame is of a different shape than the subject. That is why this one looks best. We have margins on each side and the frame roughly matches the shape of the flower. And in the same way, when you have a tall subject, the frame should also be tall to harmonize with the subject. Look at this. We have a square frame with a tall subject and it doesn't feel right. This feels a lot better if you ask me. And also, always remember to leave some negative space around the flower to make the shot look aesthetically pleasing. Tip number 8. Get low. Our usual instinct when photographing things is to just photograph them from the vantage point we naturally have when we stand up. But when it comes to photographing flowers, we often get the very best results when we get low. Here I'm getting a little bit lower, and already we can see that the photo looks interesting. But what if we get as low as humanly possible? Well, according to me, it looks even better. Now we have a little bit of the sky in the background. The image just looks more dynamic, more interesting, more beautiful. Of course there is a limit. When we get too low, there might be too much sky and the perspective just looks a bit weird. But it's different each time. For some flowers it looks great with just the sky in the background, like this one. I really love this shot, so always try to get low and experiment and see what looks best. Tip number 9, get close. Since we are out photographing flowers with a macro lens, we should try to have some fun with that. When you get very close, you can find super interesting abstract compositions where you can barely even see that it is a flower, and it can be so much fun to experiment with different backgrounds, different angles, different light. And this can actually work great even on a messy flower. This might actually be the best way to photograph messy flowers. Tip number 10. How to edit these photos to get the best look possible. I actually don't do that much when I'm editing flower photos, but one thing I tend to do, and that is to adjust the curve here, the tone curve, so that it starts on the right side where the information in the photo starts, where this mountain ends. Put the end of the curve there and you will get the most punch possible in your photo while not overblowing any highlights. It's super simple and it works really well for flowers. Another thing I sometimes do to just make the photo a bit more cozy is that I add a bit of vignette. Not too much, just to kind of frame the flower even more in a subtle way. And that's it for this video. I hope you found it helpful, and don't forget to check out the links to OM System products in the video description. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon again.